Hello everyone, my name is Courtney Com and I'm the Director of Community Relations with PAACE. I'm here today with Mandy, who's behind the camera, in part with the Healthy La Pause and kind of a little series that they want to do to help you guys at home with, just some fun activities and things to do while we're all kind of in waiting, I guess is the way we'll call it. So today we're gonna do just a cute little craft video, some activities with things that hopefully you already have in your home, a couple different things that you guys can work together with, and we're gonna move forward. So for this very first project, we're hoping that you have some sort of paint at home. It can be any kind of craft paint. You really only need one or two colors, nothing crazy. We happen to have a few different colors here because we're at the youth center and we have a lot of different craft supplies. So I, for one, had a random cake board available to me. You can find a piece of cardboard, you can find a piece of paper, something that your parent approves of, to just kind of work with this fun little craft project. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create somewhat of a space scene. So I'm going to have Mandy go down to the board right here, and I'm going to just kind of go a little wild. We're going to put a little bit of some blue, we're going to do some light blue. And what we're doing is we're just gonna kind of create a backdrop for what'll be a pretty neat space scene. So I added some pink there. You wanna keep colors that kind of go together. So we'll put some of the pink with red. We'll maybe add some of the yellow over here on the red side. And we'll just throw a little bit of purple in, maybe over here a little, maybe over here. So now you just kind of have a whole board of different colors and different paints. And here's where the fun part comes in. So depending on whether or not you have maybe a paintbrush at home, you can do kind of like a dab technique, right? You're just gonna fill this space in and get like a different texture that's available to you. The next super fun thing that we can do is we can use our hands, because why do we not want to do that, right? And we're going to do kind of just a swirling technique. Just swirl some of these colors together here just with our fingers, just to give kind of a really fun texture. And then last but not least, we're going to use, maybe a paper towel or something just to clean up our fingers. We don't smudge the colors too much. And then we're gonna go maybe back and forth here with our yellow and our purple, just to give a different kind of texture and design. So what you're gonna do now is you are going to wait for this beautiful, weird, crazy looking masterpiece to dry. And so we actually have an example for you here. So this one here is already dried. The paint's already nice and dry. So this is gonna create a really cool background for us. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna find some circular items that we're gonna place down. A lot of you guys probably have some of these beauties available to you. We're gonna put that maybe right here in the blue space, okay? We're gonna take maybe a roll of tape, something really easy, something that you don't mind getting some paint on. And then I'm gonna take a couple paint bottles too, and we're just gonna create a few little circles here. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to find my black paint and a paintbrush, and I'm going to just kind of fill in some of that black paint if it's not clogged like this one is. Technical difficulties. We're gonna just find some black paint and we're gonna fill in this space. And what we're doing now is we're creating literally our space, right? We're gonna fill in these different areas kind of around the bottles. Nothing crazy, just enough to fill the space. Hopefully you have a block that will spread a little bit better. If we don't have paintbrushes, we can use our what?
Fingers.
Our fingers. It's not the end of the world. Okay, we're just gonna move forward. If our circle's a little wonky, we're just gonna fix it a little bit and then we'll move forward that way. So the goal is to fill in all of the space, so to speak, with the black paint. And then, we're going to add some stars and stuff. So I've added some black here. We're gonna go around our bottle here. Spreads a little bit better now. We're gonna fill in all those different cracks in space. We're gonna be very mindful of our tables, right? That's what our parents wanna hear. We're gonna fill all that space in, go around the tape. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just kind of filling in that void, right? You can kind of fill back in the spot. What's cool about this cake board is that it actually turns, so that's really helpful too. But whatever piece of you know, material that you guys have with you. You can just kind of spread it around, as you can see. And the best part about using these Clorox wipes is that you can just clean up the bottle afterwards with a wipe from the outside. So we have our space, everything kind of filled in. We have our circles probably as good as they're gonna get at this point. This here might be a little wonky, so we're just gonna fix it. We're just gonna touch it up a little bit. Nothing crazy, just to kind of give us an idea. Maybe it's a half moon or a crescent planet, right? So anything with space, we obviously don't know a ton about just yet, right? So we're just gonna make it up as we go. Then we're gonna take some white paint, and this is a really fun part because we get to do some paint splatters. So we're just gonna splatter some stars. Maybe it's a shooting star, maybe it's just a little bit of drops here and there. And we're just gonna splatter a little bit, give it some more shape. And then we're gonna lift up our bottles, and we have what's a pretty cool little space scene. And like I said, if our circles aren't perfect, we're just gonna come back through and we'll touch them all up. Maybe take a little bit more time. We're obviously doing this very quickly for video's sake, but you know, we can just touch up that. Another fun thing that you guys can do with this project is that you can actually take a straw, and while your paint is still wet on your board previously, or when you do some more white spots, you can just add a little bit of air to it and it'll kind of expand that. So fun, easy, super crazy looking right now, but if you guys put the time and energy into it, it's gonna look awesome. Another really fun project that we have for you guys involves use of string. It's still use of paint, but use a different string. We have like a twine here. Nothing crazy. If you have yarn, that would be great. Something of that nature. And then just a piece of paper, any kind of piece of paper, cardboard. We just happen to have some white cardstock here. And then you're going to just put a little bit of paint in a container like so. And you're gonna dip the string in and just kind of get it lathered in that color. And what's really cool about this is you don't have to have a ton of paint for this project. Maybe you just have a little bit of paint, but you want to do something kind of fun and cool. And then what we're going to do is we are going to place this string right here on the piece of paper. We're going to fold it in half, press down, and then we're going to pull the end of the strings. And what that does is it creates a pretty cool looking flower. You can change this into maybe a butterfly depending on how you lay your string down. You can do it in different colors. You can do different string patterns, but we thought this one was kind of cool. It kind of resembles a bit of like a lily, something pretty. You can add some green floral stuff to the end or a little bit of a background, and just kind of a fun project. Super easy to do, not a lot of paint and not a lot of other materials, but it's just kind of a really cool little outline. You can frame them, you can do whatever you want. And then our final project that we have for you guys today is really simple and it's super fun. We know most of you guys have crayons hanging around the house. And so I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the melting crayon. This right here was one that we did for you. We didn't want to just have a crazy blow dryer going in your face while we did the video. But what I did is I just took a piece of paper, cardstock, anything that you guys have materials, and I put a little bit of tape on it. You can use hot glue if that's something that's available to you, maybe stick glue to attach these crayons. You can do all different kinds of colors. So we just went with blue because of the rain yesterday. We thought it was really pretty. You can paint something down at the bottom, but essentially this is just a melting crayon activity. You can just take your piece of paper here and add whatever color that you want. And the tape worked out really nice because we can actually remove it from the piece of paper later. So depending on what color scheme you want to go with, maybe some oranges, you can do somewhat of a sunset, something of that nature. You're just going to attach it all, and then you're going to take your blow dryer and get very close to the end. Have a parent or an adult help you with that part. And then you're going to get a result that looks very similar to this, kind of water splashing, like I said, maybe a sunset background, something fun that you can draw and use even black paint to do silhouettes and stuff behind as well. So we know that you guys are at home. We know that we are looking for different projects. We're going to put a link to some other videos that are already on YouTube to kind of help you guys out and give you other ideas. Some of the really cool ones we saw are things that you can do with toilet paper rolls, which we know you all have a lot of. So if you guys have questions, or if you have ideas of different projects that you'd like to see Healthy La Paz actually work on and do, or little demonstrations to show, we'd love to have you guys put those in the comments below. Other than that, thank you guys so much for your time. Again, I'm Courtney Com with PACE and the Players Night Street Youth Center, and we're here to help and happy to be here with Healthy La Paz.